Greetings traveller, it's me, Diggy B, IRL, and this is my new video series, Game Surgery. So, first video, some of you are probably thinking, hey, I wonder what these videos are going to be about, but most of you are probably just thinking, what's Bill Bailey's character from Hot Fuzz doing talking about video games? Well, those are very good questions, so let's get straight into it. I'm going to be talking about what makes a good puzzle game. Roll credits. I only recently got around to playing the Talos Principle, the first-person puzzler bafflingly developed by Croteam who made Serious Sam, and I've come away with the sense that I really enjoyed it, though the more I think about it, the more I wonder quite how I managed to like the game so much, seeing as I found the actual puzzles, which account for 90% of the game, to be quite dull and irritating. GameSpy.com ranked the deluxe edition of the Talos Principle at number 3 in its top 10 list of the best PS4 games in 2015, and even made the claim that it might be the best puzzle game that they'd ever played. And although I would give the Talos Principle a glowing recommendation, I just felt like the overlong string of puzzles that it presented, they kind of left me annoyed and frustrated, like when I hear my neighbours having sex through the wall. But what was it about the puzzles in the Talos Principle that I didn't like? What is it that my other favourite puzzle games do right that can make me love them so much? So I started thinking and came to the realisation that the games I enjoy for their puzzles, Braid, Fez, hell even some of the browser-based Flash games that I used to play after school while high on sherbet and fizzy pop, they all have a single core mechanic around which every puzzle is based. Take any puzzle from Braid and you know it's going to be solved through some kind of time manipulation, or rotating your perspective in Fez. Even that Adventure Lamp game that I previewed recently has the hat throwing thing to make it stand out. Each of these games revolve around taking one central concept and working out how to apply it to solve each problem, while the method used in the Talos Principle involves a stack of items each with just one specific use, the only challenge coming from figuring out in what order to place them. That's not a logic puzzle, that's a fucking jigsaw. I mean, it's fine if you like jigsaws. I got a jigsaw for Christmas actually, which I did recently. It's a picture of all my friends. But in thinking about this rule for a good puzzle game, I came up with quite a lot of other games that I really like, despite not being blown away by their puzzle mechanics. What was it that redeemed these games? Why do I still like Limbo, the Talos Principle, and so many others that use the cliched switches and levers type of puzzle design? Well, it's quite simple really. The answer in most cases is everything else. Puzzle gameplay is the sort that can be sidelined just as a framing device for a good story, solid atmosphere, or well-realised world. I think it's safe to say that Limbo just wouldn't be the same game without its distinct visual design and immensely creepy atmosphere. Thomas Was Alone added personality and a heartwarming story to a bunch of coloured blocks just by adding the magic ingredient of Danny Wallace. Just think about all the great classic adventure games of the 90s. The vast majority of them were just a string of illogical and tiresome adventure puzzles, with the occasional arcade sequence thrown in if the world hated you. But games like Grim Fandango and Monkey Island are so loved because of their great characters, writing and narrative. Although I was disappointed by the puzzles in the Talos Principle, I would speed through them as fast as I could just to explore the amazing scenery, read expository emails and debate philosophy with the computer terminals, and that's where the game shines. It creates a beautiful world full of mystery, and the puzzles act almost like a side quest to reward you with more answers, engaging just enough to make the game more than just a walking simulator. Well, I think I've done enough dancing around the elephant in the room. A lot of you are probably wondering why I haven't mentioned Portal yet, seeing as it is comparable to the Talos Principle in many ways, and was of course the first puzzle game that ever existed. Well, seeing as how we discussed how some games can provide satisfying puzzles with creative core mechanics, and other games can use puzzles to frame a good story in an interesting world, of course the thing that made Portal so brilliant is that it does both. Ah yes, the Aperture Science handheld Portal device, a mechanic so ingeniously innovative yet so simple that it made you wonder why no games had ever done it before, except Narbacular Drop, but shut up, it was the same team. A concept that takes even the most overused elements of puzzle design and makes them feel new and fresh. Not only did we get this and a bucket load of mind-bending puzzles to use it in, but we also got hilarious writing, an interesting environment with darkness and mystery just beneath its surface, and a narrative that catches you with your trousers down right at the final act. Now I appreciate Portal doesn't need another person licking its balls, and to restore equilibrium I might quickly say that I think Portal 2 didn't quite nail the balance of puzzles versus plot as its predecessor, but it's not difficult to see how this game so quickly became the benchmark for first-person puzzlers. Honestly, I'd like to see a lot more puzzle games in the AAA market. The Talos Principle was a really fun and refreshing game, because it's all too rare that you get to experience puzzle gameplay in a full high-definition 3D environment. Publishers seem to think that the only games that sell have to feature someone's face getting blown off every few seconds. I wonder where they got that idea. Stop buying shit games! Remember to head over to Gamespew.com for a whole lot more awesome game related content, and if you enjoyed this video you could like or subscribe, or you could leave a comment as long as you understand that nobody will ever care what you say. Cheery bye.